Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
What's the difference between a virtual assistant and an online business manager? In episode 430, Charly Dwyer explains.
But a virtual assistant generally looks after the administrative tasks, I say administrative, the tasks in the business. So you might have someone who acts as an EA. They check your email, they check your meetings, they take your calls, they make sure that everything's in your calendars right. They'll send you your briefing notes of a morning, maybe send you briefing notes of an afternoon as to who's done what and who's rung in, what needs to be done, what you need to look at. Some of them just look after your financials. Some of them will type up documents for you. It just depends on what you're looking for in a virtual assistant, but they are generally more task-oriented.
Talking with the Experts.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org. Do you love your podcast and dislike the editing and uploading to the various platforms? Would you like to spend this time with your family and friends or work on your business? Podcast editing doesn't have to be a chore. Talking with the Experts partners with podcasters who need help with audio and content editing. If you'd like to know more, contact me, Rose Davidson, using the link showing now or send me a private message. Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Today, my guest is Charly Leatham, and we're going to be talking about OBMs or online business managers and how they're not all the same and quite rightly so, because I was an OBM for a while and people used to think that I was just a virtual assistant, but online business managers do a little bit more than your average virtual assistant, and that's not trying to demean virtual assistants because they have a great role to play, but online business managers do, I guess, the level up from that. And so, normally online business managers are highly skilled people in a range of, genres, topics, and they understand that there are different flavors to different businesses. And Charly is the owner of Ask Charly Leatham and has over 30 years experience in the IT industry, and she helps her clients discover the real needs of their online presence. And normally this process refines the difference between the initial ideas and the want and the result in a clearly defined effective scope. Now, Ask Charly Leatham's goal is to assist business owners realise the power of the internet as a channel to market their organisations in an appropriate and cost-effective manner. Charly is in the Atherton Tablelands in Queensland, so if she drops out sometime, you'll understand why, because it's in the middle of the whoop whoop nowhere. Welcome, Charly, and thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, look, thank you so much, Rose. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to talk to you today. And thank you for your patience while I found some mobile reception to use.
How's everything up in Queensland? I know that there's been some challenges with the weather.
So we're on the Atherton Tablelands, which is about 200 kilometres west of Cairns. So if people look on the map, they'll be able to find Cairns. Finding Atherton Tablelands might be a little bit more difficult, but that means we're pretty far north. And because we're a little further west, we don't get all of the coastal monsoonal type weather. We get the edges of it, so it's very, very wet up here at the moment. But today the sun is out and I'm going to be enjoying the sunshine.
Well done, well done. Now, Tell me the difference between a virtual assistant or a VA and an online business manager, because a lot of people are confused about what they are.
So, well, I actually found that a little difficult to define myself because I never really considered myself a virtual assistant. Well, not in the technical sense of the word, or in the sense of the word that most people do. I'm a technical person who provides virtual assistance or assistance virtually. Um, and that was where I started to really make that definition between what I did for people and what my VAs do for people. Because I actually work with VAs, and I have a VA myself, and I honestly, I die without her. She's wonderful. But a virtual assistant generally looks after the administrative tasks, or not, sorry, I say administrative, the tasks in the business. So you might have someone who acts as an EA. They check your email, they check your meetings, they take your calls, they make sure that everything's in your calendars right. They'll send you your briefing notes of a morning, maybe send you briefing notes of an afternoon as to who's done what, and sorry, who's rung in, what needs to be done, what you need to look at. Some of them just look after your financials. Some of them will type up documents for you. It just depends on what you're looking for in a virtual assistant, but they are generally more task oriented and more, whilst they work on their own initiative and they work without direction, they do need you to tell them what needs to be done or what you need them to do. On a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or on a contract basis. Whereas an OBM sort of sits at that next level up. And I always look at it for myself. People would ring me and say, "Oh, we want a website." So, and I'd say, well, "What is it you want your website to do?" We don't know. We just need a website. We've been told we need a website. So do you need an online brochure? Do you want to do e-marketing? Do you want to do e-commerce? What's your business plan around this? What are you doing here? What is your strategy for your business, so I can make sure that what I give you actually matches and works in with what your plans are for your business. Otherwise, you're just spending good money after bad. And that's one place that your OBM actually works really well for you, is that they will coach you, they will manage your business or help you manage your business. They can work in a silo or a segment of your business and just look after that one segment. I like doing the technical side of things. So generally I'll work within the tech side of things, look after the websites, look after the emails, liaise with any developers that might be working on your stuff, making sure that one developer isn't doing something that's going to break what another developer is doing, make sure your change windows are done, making sure there's a change management process in place so that we know what changes were made and when they were made. So if something's not working 3 or 4 weeks later, we can go back and say, well, where could that have stopped working, and work out why it's doing what it's doing. You might have someone who actually looks after your financial side of your business. You normally call them an accountant. But maybe they're not quite an accountant. Maybe they're just someone who I use that term just a lot, and it's not really just, is it?
It's never just a just.
No, never just a just. But maybe they look after the bookwork and chase up and find all the invoices that are missing and make sure you've got them all recorded, so that when the accountant goes through and does all of what they have to do, it really is a matter of tick and flick for them, and not come back and ask you all the questions that you normally get asked by an accountant because you haven't filled in your bookwork correctly. I guess you could consider an OBM a bit like a project manager in that respect as well. We take parts of your business, turn it into an ongoing project, and make sure it runs for you.
Yeah, I often thought of it as just like an office manager, but they work online.
Pretty
to me,
much,
would be
yeah.
the role that they fulfill. In your organisation, Charly, what are the main tasks that you look after?
Well, I touched on a couple of them just then. So you're looking after your web hosting, making sure that your web host is, I do hosting as part of my business, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to move you to my hosting. I will make sure that the hosting that you've got actually works the way it should do, that it's up to date. If something goes wrong, I will be the one, or one of my team will be the one to liaise with the hosting provider to work out what's going on. We make sure the websites are working, that they're all up to date. And when I say all up to date, I mean the software that runs the website, not necessarily all the content. I'll come back to that one in a minute. But yeah, it's all the little things that people don't think about in the technical side of their business. When you come in of a morning and you turn your computer on and you can access your website and it hasn't been hacked, and you've got your emails and they're all coming in, they're coming in on your phone and your computer and your iPad, and you can be on the other side of the world and you can still get the same level of service there in terms of what you can see on your phone as you do in your office. That's the sort of thing that I look after, making sure that you've got all that in place, that just runs smoothly for you. That's the first part. That's the operational management. Then we come down to, okay, so now we want to put, let's say someone wants to put a new product online, and they want to put in an e-learning system to run this product. So I will sit down with them and I'll go through what their needs are, what their wants are, what are the must-haves, what are the things that we could do without if we can't do it, what is the budget, go and assess all the things that are out there that could possibly do it and come back with some recommendations to meet your needs, and give you as many wants as we can within that budget that you've got. And if you don't have a budget, well, that's when we go out and we do the basic research of what's out there and what's it going to cost us roughly to do these sorts of things, and work out where we start and how we do it. And then breaking that down into the deliverable segments, not saying, okay, well, we're going to do this one large project and we're going to have it all up and running, and it's a 6-month project, and then, you get 4 months in and it's like, yeah, now it's an 8-month project and now it's a 10-month project. Whilst I have that overarching business plan and that project management plan, I will break it down into, okay, this is the first thing we're going to deliver. This is phase 1. This is what will fit into phase 1, and we'll get that up and running. So it's a minimum deliverable product that will get you something online and working. And then we'll look at phase 2 and phase 3 and phase 4. And the reason I do it that way is we find that once we get the minimum deliverable online, we see how that works. We go, oh, no, we don't want to do it that way for phase 2 and phase 3. We need to revamp this a little. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to move straight to phase 4 and do what we were going to do in phase 4 and bring it forward, because that's what your clients are asking for.
So how does, someone decide that they need an online business manager?
They don't. Well, look, I'm going to be a little sort of blasé, and I say normally they don't realize they need it until someone comes along and says, let me do this for you. Let's try this out as a single line project and see how it runs for you. I think the thing that I come back to is, if you find you are trying to be all things to all people in your business as as the owner, as the manager, that's a time for you to sit down and write out the things that you like doing in your business, the things that you do well in your business, the things that will bring you the money through the door, things that you can do to bring money through the door for your business. Everything else, the things that you don't like doing, the things that you don't do well, the things that take you a long time to do, that's when you should be going out and looking for an online business manager or a business manager in general, because then they will be able to help you work out whether they can do all of those things or whether you need to take 2 or 3 people to do the various segments of it. And that's one of the benefits, isn't it, Rose, about working online, is that, and working virtually, is that you can have people like us. And you might have 2 or 3 business managers who work together on different segments of your business to make sure that it all works for you.
Absolutely, yeah. So I understand the concept of it, because, as I said, I was doing it for a while, but people were confused about, what actually an online business manager was. But I think people may be more aware now. It's been a few years since, because online business managers were only a new concept back when I first started doing it. So I don't know, but what are the, so I guess there's, other than yourself, there are other organizations out there. I'm not trying to promote other organizations, however.
No, that's fine.
How would you go about finding an OBM?
So there are a number of places you can go and look. One of the first things I'll say is if you come to me and I'm not the right person for you, or I think we need to have a better team together, I'll either go and find someone that I can work with. And normally I normally have a couple of women, sometimes men, but typically the virtual industry is women that I've worked with previously, and I know that I can work with really well, and I'll put a team together. Otherwise, there are a couple of other places. VAdirectory.net is one place. That's one place that I actually get my business through. Seed VA is another. There's a few. What do you call them? Organizations where virtual assistants go looking for work, and where people can post their work for VAs and for business managers and for graphic design and for creative assistants. Like, it's not just admin type work now that we do virtually. It's a whole heap of things that get done.
And where can people find you, Charly, if they wanted to know more about what you do and what you offer?
So you can find out about me at my website. That is absolutely the best place to come connect with me. That's www.askcharlylatham.com. I won't spell that out. I will ask you to put that in the show notes.
I will do,
please,
yes.
Rose. You can connect with me on Facebook. If you just Google if you just look on Facebook for Ask Charly Latham, you will find my Facebook page. I have a YouTube channel, Ask Charly Latham again. Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Make sure you get all your branding sorted out, guys. And I'm also starting up my own podcast. And if you go to Anchor FM and look up Ask-Charly Latham, you'll find my podcast as well, which is also available on Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube as well.
Oh, good stuff. Find you everywhere. You're everywhere. You're everywhere.
I try to be. I mean, and this is one of the things that, I do for my clients as well is, well, where do you need to be? How do we get your message out? What's the best way of getting messages out as well?
Absolutely. Charly, it's been a pleasure learning about your business and what you do and how you can help business owners to be more productive or be less productive and have more time to do all the other things that they should be doing rather than the things that they are doing. Any last words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience today?
It's really coming back to really good basic business principles, and that's you can't be everything to all people. You can't do it all in your own business. You need to really think about the reason that you are in business and the reason you want to run your business. And I'll guarantee that is not to work 80 hours a week doing all the things. You are trying to get yourself a quality of life. And sometimes outsourcing that work to a small team is going to get you better results. I say sometimes, most times. Going to get you a better result, and you're going to have more time for yourself to do all those things that you went into business to be able to do for yourself.
Absolutely wonderful advice, and we should all take a leaf out of that and pay heed to it. Charly, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your wisdom with us.
Oh, look, you're most welcome. And thank you so much for having me on, Rose. I really do appreciate it.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.